Chapter 21. Anchors in Daily Life. Objects, places and gestures. In the flow of daily life, most of us return, often without noticing, to certain objects, places or gestures that keep us steady. To anyone else, they may seem ordinary, even unremarkable, yet to us they hold weight. They act as quiet points of return, subtle markers of continuity in a shifting world. It might be the cool curve of a stone you carry in your pocket, the worn arm of a chair where you rest before the day begins, or the simple act of turning on a lamp each evening. These things do not stop change from arriving, but they remind you that something has been here before and will be here again. They say without words, I am still here. In the ghost movement, anchors are understood not as symbols of the past, kept for sentiment alone, but as active companions in the present. They do not simply represent memory, they participate in it. An anchor can take many forms. It might be something physical like a keepsake, photograph or piece of clothing. It might be a location you visit often, a stretch of coastline, a park bench, a particular path through the city. It might even be something your body does, a repeated gesture, a way of sitting, a turn of the wrist. What matters is not what it looks like or where it came from, but the stability it offers when life feels uncertain. Objects carry layers of association. A mug might recall mornings shared with a friend. A scarf might hold the faint scent of a past winter. A piece of jewellery might carry the weight of a promise, fulfilled or broken. These associations often form quietly, without conscious choice, gathering over years until they become part of the object's very presence. Places anchor us through familiarity and repetition. Standing in a garden where you once played, sitting in the same spot on your commute, walking the same stretch of pavement in all weathers, these acts root you in a map that is both physical and emotional. The place becomes more than its appearance, it becomes a part of you. Gestures can do the same, though they are less visible to others. Running your fingertips along the edge of a page, pausing to take a slow breath before speaking, tracing the pattern of wood grain on a table. Each of these can signal to your body, I know this, I am here. In the ghost movement, anchors like these keep memory present without requiring you to speak or analyze it. They work quietly, without demanding explanation. Anchors work because they engage the senses before thought. You may feel your breathing slow, your shoulders lower. The tension in your hands ease when you handle a familiar object, return to a trusted place, or repeat a grounding gesture. The nervous system responds to these signals of safety and familiarity, sometimes before you are fully aware. Each anchor carries sensory cues that deepen its effect. The weight of a pebble in your palm, the creak of a chair that has been sat in thousands of times, the smell of a street after rainfall, these can pull you into the present more effectively than any deliberate attempt to be mindful. The senses remember with a precision that thought often cannot match. Anchors can evoke comfort, gratitude, longing, or even the weight of loss. They do not remove difficult feelings, but they can hold them, making them easier to bear. In this way, they provide a steady point from which emotion can move without overwhelming you. Over time, anchors form a thread between moments. You may hold the same object across years, return to the same view each season, repeat the same small movement in both joy and difficulty. The most enduring anchors connect your inner and outer worlds, rooting your body in time and place, while carrying the emotional echoes that make the present feel inhabited. Some arrive by accident and remain without your planning. Others are chosen with intention. Bringing awareness to them allows them to support you more deeply. You may notice that there are things you reach for without thinking, places you gravitate towards, or movements you repeat when you seek steadiness. When you recognize an anchor, you can lean into it without turning it into a task. Hold the object and feel its texture. Spend longer in the place that steadies you, letting its details sink in. Slow down the gesture your hands know so well. These are not acts of control, but of connection. Life changes, and sometimes anchors are lost. A place may no longer be accessible. An object may break or be passed on. A gesture may fade from use. Yet new anchors can always be found. They can grow from what is already around you, a particular mug, a short walk at the same time each day, a phrase exchanged with someone you trust. The meaning of an anchor comes not from rarity, but from repeated presence. Anchors can also be shared. A family may sing the same song at the end of the day. A group of friends may return to the same meeting point year after year. A community may gather at a landmark that holds its shared memory. In these cases, the anchor strengthens both the individual and the collective, offering a common point of return. To notice the anchors in your life is to see them as companions rather than background. They are there in your quiet moments, offering steadiness without demand. In times of uncertainty, they remind you that you have touched this stone, sat on this bench, made this gesture before, and that you made it through. Over time, anchors become part of your personal landscape. They may change, but the practice of returning to something steady remains. You begin to trust that there will always be something you can come back to, even when everything else feels unsteady. They remind you that presence can be as simple as turning towards what holds you. From the stillness of anchors, we move towards the current of activity. The next chapter explores how the work we do, whether paid, unpaid, visible, or unseen, can hold memory in its own way, and how it too can become a living site of presence.